It was a morning at the local high school. Amanda was standing by her locker with her best friend, Brandon. Brandon and Amanda have been best friends since the middle school. And Amanda can always trust Brandon with some things. And she always knows that she can always go to him if she needs help or advice or something. Because has always been a very outgoing guy and has very quite smart in her opinion. And she always trusted him with some of the most deepest secrets. Because some of the secrets like she is a lesbian. And Brandon has always been there for her. The only ones who knows about this particular secret was only her family, and Brandon. So, what is your plan for the weekend? I don't have any particular plans though, to be honest. Oh, I thought your brother was coming in town. Yeah, but he might be doing something else, probably spend some time with his old friends. So you don't think your old brother Leo wouldn't have spent time with his own sister? It turns out that Amanda had an older brother named Leo. He was actually in his third year of college, and he was studying another state, but he has now a only brief time for vacation time to spend with his family. But since Leo and Amanda was the only child in their family and they were still close, but Amanda was not sure if her brother was to spend time with her, just only her. Yeah, but I don't think my brother will just spend time just with me though. Who knows, said Brandon with a smile. You know, we should probably get ready for the first class. Yeah, we should probably do that. By the way, what was your first class? History. You? Uh, you know what I have? Let me guess. Science? You betcha. Yeah, so we should probably get ready before the bell start rings, and we don't want to get the light. Some teachers can be a little upset about it. Yeah, pretty much. So they went to their different classes. But when at the science class, before the teacher had even started, there was a knock on the door, and it was the principal. Oh, principal, do you need something? Yes. I need only a moment of your time, if that's okay. Yeah, sure, come in. So the principal announced that he had announcement. Okay, everyone. I will make it brief. We have a new transfer student here, and science is her first class of the day. So I personally decided to bring her here, but I also want everyone here to be very welcoming her, since she had some of it bad times in her last school. So I want to have anyone here is willing to give her a tour around the school. If we'll give him permission by the next few classes to skip them. Is there anyone that's want to volunteer? But no one didn't even somehow they didn't want to do it. Except principal, I can do it. Great, Amanda. I can trust on you. Amanda was actually quite popular among the staff and the students. And in fact, she was a very popular then. She was always polite, always helpful. She was actually one of the few students that actually were a tutor to other students that needed help with something. Then the principal let in a girl. Everyone, this is Sarah. I hope that you all treat her with the same respect as everyone should do at the school. Well, I have this is my cue to leave, he said. Well, Sarah, have a good time here. And then he left. The teacher told Sarah to introduce herself as short as much she wanted. Well, she said her name was Sarah, and that she was 16, and that she was nervous but happy to go to a whole new school. There were no students that even asked her anything. They just looked at her, except one did ask her. She was asked how she thought about the school so far. She said that it isn't like any difference from her old high school, but it is similar. But she's a little bit excited to go to be in a whole new school, to meet new friends and all that. And then she was allowed to sit behind Amanda. After school, after class was over, Amanda was sitting outside in the hallway waiting for Sarah. Sarah was a little bit shy personality, but this is a more understandable for Amanda, because she was quite shy herself when she went to this high school only a year earlier. She was very difficult, but at least she had Brandon there with her, so at least she had one friend that she can trust. So Amanda showed Sarah around in the school to find the school library, the school nurse office, and the school cafeteria, the gym class, and even a few other classes. And she even mentioned some teacher's name, that's someone that she could trust if she needed any help with something. Then Sarah was actually invited by Amanda to have lunch with her and her friend. You know, you can always eat lunch with us. It's just me and my best friend, Brandon. Yeah, sure. Amanda was really quite happy to have perhaps made a new friend. The rest of the school day went perfectly normal. But on lunch break in the cafeteria, Sarah was sitting with Brandon and Amanda. Brandon was actually quite open, honest about himself to Sarah. Like, he was talking about all kinds of things about himself and Amanda, and so that Sarah would get used to them and also don't feel uncomfortable. But there was just then, during the cafeteria, during the lunch break, when they heard someone start crying, someone start screaming, or almost loud talking. And then Sarah just she immediately set up, and both Brandon and Amanda was like, again, kind of look. Sarah was like, you know what is happening? Amanda was like, yeah, pretty much. What? Let's say it's a school bully that's targeting another student here again. Like, who? But then Brandon pointed out to two guys, Rick and Adam. Rick and Adam was actually the school bullies. But there was one thing that they should be known. This school has a non-tolerance policy against bullying or even harassment. But both Rick and Adam have managed to get away with every single time they bully a student. They actually bullied some of the students so badly that it terrified them so much that they wouldn't even want to tell anyone. So, yeah, those are two that you should stay away from as much as possible. Even if you have a class with them, well, if you have a class with them, but you should not get involved with their things. But has anyone tried to stop them? No, said Emma, almost sadly. No one has ever been so brave to stop them. But someone should. Trust me, many times, and I wish I just could, said Brandon. But even if I were to tell someone, and if I told a teacher, the teacher probably would ask if there's only students, and they would deny that I had ever been bullied by them at all. You see, they have been so scared of being bullied by them so much that they are so terrified. They wouldn't even want to even. They didn't want to acknowledge that they had even been bullied by any teachers or even a principal. So even if we telling them, they would not be enough. It was only like the principal or the teacher could not do anything without any actual proof. So Rick and Adam can't be expelled or even suspended for any reason, unless there's someone manages to stand up against them and collect evidence or something. That's horrible, said Sarah. Believe me, it is, Sarah. It is horrible, but then suddenly they were interrupted. So, I guess this is the new girl I heard of. And Brandon's like, Rick, what do you want? Can you see that we are... Shut up, said Adam. Don't interrupt. But then suddenly Amanda stood up and said, Rick, Adam, this is my friend Sarah. Yeah, she's new here, so please leave. But for a reason, Rick's like, ha, as if you were decided. Listen to me, Rick. I don't want to have you to be bullying her again or her anyone else. Please, leave. Rick and Adam's like, threw their hands up and like, well, bye. And they just turned around and walked away. Wow, that was brave. Yeah, I'm so tired of this. So the rest of the day, things went perfectly normal. Sarah was actually standing by the sidewalk by herself when Amanda saw that. She like, hey Sarah, are you waiting for someone? I mean, the buses are up there. See, she pointed. Yeah, I'm not taking the bus. My mom is picking me up. I think at least. Oh, is something the matter? No, it's just my mom isn't, she's probably busy today with work, so. I mean, if you want, I can give you a lift home. Wait, seriously? Yeah, hop in. I don't mind. So, Amanda asked Sarah where she was living. So, and it turned out they didn't even live that far from each other. Maybe just a block away. No kidding, said Sarah. Wow, that's pretty close. Yeah, I didn't expect you to live this close, but if you want, I mean, I don't mind. Since we live this close, I can drive you to school every day if you want to. Yeah, that would be great. So my mom wouldn't have to be rushing to work in the morning. So Amanda gave her a number so they can always keep in touch and so that she would know when it was time to pick up Sarah. So for the next several weeks, things like this happened repeatedly that she drove her home, she picked her up for school, and they actually started to start up a good friendship. But one day, things took a very bad turn. You see, Amanda was standing by her locker by herself when suddenly Brandon came up to her almost frantically. Amanda, have you heard? What? Sarah, what is about it? She had been bullied. That made Amanda furious. What? What do you mean? I heard some other people talking. They heard Sarah's been called bad names. And he whispered some of the bad names and... Oh, no. This is too far. Some of the words like complete idiot, pathetic, lowlife, and some even worse, which that Amanda didn't want to be mentioned to anyone. But there was one thing. She could not stand it. But there was nothing she could have done. Since this was no witnesses around when this supposed happened. Only that day some people, other students heard about this, and without any actual witness, there was no much that they can done. And as she suspected, Sarah, she was so scared that she didn't want to tell anyone. But things about this would eventually change, because during this time, Amanda actually slowly had fallen in love with Sarah. Because she was beautiful. She was a beautiful brown-haired girl, while herself is a long black hair. She didn't mind that. But she hadn't even told anyone except Brandon about this. And he was like, wow, I didn't expect that happened. Well, I cannot understand this. Why people were bullying her? She's a sweet girl. She's almost being polite. But if anyone of the others, like Rick and Adam, find out about me, or what yeah, that would have been the lowest things I ever done. But the next day, when Amanda came to school, she heard some students whispered, and one of them actually, I walked up to her and asked, Amanda, is it true? What's true? That you're a lesbian? What? How did you even know that? Oh, so you didn't know? What? No, tell me. Well, there's this rumors all around the school that's saying that you and Sarah are actually dating in secret. Well, first of all, don't believe those type of rumors. And yes, I am actually a lesbian. And soon enough, everyone at school find out about it. But it didn't take a genius to figure out who spread those rumors. Rick or Adam or both. But there was nothing else they can do. But she decided to confront them. So she walked up to them, and what they didn't know, she had her phone in her chest pocket that was recording the whole thing, and she confronted them. And they didn't make up of any lies. They actually came clean about it. But they said, even if you did tell a teacher or the principal, they would even believe you, because we were made up another story that we never did anything. Alright, yeah, that makes true, said Amanda, because she didn't want to make any mention about being recorded. Because if they do, they will probably grab the phone and destroy it. So, after that meeting with them, she went straight to the principal's office. She showed him the recording, and he was furious because he took the non-bullying policy quite serious. After she left, she actually heard from other people that both Ricky and Adam had been expelled from the school for this constant bullying. Because shortly after that happened, well, they were first suspended. But shortly only the next day, few other students actually came forward to the principal about their bullying as well. And now there were at least more people that was against Rick and Adam. And, well, let's say that what happened is they were expelled. And Amanda was just happy to manage to stop this. Stood up for her friends. But in the end, after all this, there was one other thing that she did. She confessed to Sarah about her feelings. And actually, Sarah was actually confessed back to her, because during the time when she was bullied and having Amanda there standing up for her the whole time made her realize she had a crush on her new friend. And they started dating after all this. And everyone at the school had no problem with it. Because there were in fact a few other bisexual couples and even lesbian couples and even gay couples at the high school. Because the school supported this type of community. And after they both finished high school, they actually went to the same college in town. And it was just a great time. They actually even became roommates at the same college. And throughout their high college, they finished that, and they even bought a small apartment in town. And both families were just happy to have them there. But especially Amanda. Because after being together for a few more years, she proposed to Sarah, and she said yes. And at the time, they were about 30, at least. and they actually got married in a small ceremony. After about 2 years, they wanted to start a family, and turned out Brandon, he was willing to help them with that. So Amanda had at first one child. She had a daughter she named Julia. And Sarah had a boy only like 3 years later she named John. And it's really an amazing story. How a girl she ended up being bullied, have one of her friends stood up for her, and how their true love actually grew and became so strong. It is amazing. And this is how Amanda and Sarah found a true love, got a big family together. The end.